I got my best friend pregnant after one drunken night. We did everything backward, baby first, move-in second, romance third, but we proved everyone wrong. I'm Mark. She's Maya. We grew up 3 houses apart. By the time we were 24, the property lines didn't matter. Maya was small. She had thick, wavy dark hair that she rarely brushed. She just ran her fingers through it and called it a day. Her eyes were dark, almond-shaped, usually narrowed because she was skeptical of everything. Her skin was a pale olive that flushed pink if she drank half a beer. She was pretty in a way that snuck up on you. You'd look at her 1,000 times and see her buddy. And then one day you'd look and realize she had the kind of face you wanted to stare at. We had 0 boundaries. I walked into her parents' house without knocking. She used my Netflix password. She ate the leftovers out of my fridge without asking. People asked if we were dating. We laughed. We said, "Gross, no." We sat on the same couch every Friday night. My leg pressed against hers. Neither of us moved. We called it comfort. It wasn't comfort. It was just waiting. It was a Tuesday in October. I had just signed a lease on a new apartment. It was a 1-bedroom walk-up. It smelled like fresh paint and dust. I didn't have furniture yet. Just a TV on a stack of books and a mattress on the floor in the bedroom. Maya came over with a pepperoni pizza and a 12-pack of cheap lager. "Your heat is broken," she said. She kicked off her boots. She was wearing thick wool socks. She walked around the empty living room, sliding on the hardwood. "It's not broken. It just hasn't kicked in yet," I said. We sat on the floor. We ate the pizza out of the box. We drank the beer. It was cold. Maya shivered. She was wearing a thin tank top under her flannel. She pulled the flannel tighter. Her collarbone stood out, sharp and pale in the light from the TV. "You're freezing," I said. "You're a slumlord," she said, smiling. I dragged the duvet from the bedroom into the living room. We sat under it. After 4 beers, we were sitting shoulder to shoulder. I could feel the heat coming off her arm. She turned to look at me. The TV flashed blue light across her face. Her hair was messy, tucked behind one ear. Her lips were shiny from the pizza grease. She stopped talking. She just looked at me. Her eyes were wide. She looked at my mouth. Then she looked at my eyes. "Mark," she said. Her voice was quiet. "Yeah," I said. She leaned in. It wasn't smooth. Our teeth clicked. We both laughed, nervous sounds. Then I put my hand on the back of her neck. Her skin was hot. Her hair was soft, tangling in my fingers. I kissed her again. It changed fast. It went from tentative to desperate in seconds. I pulled her onto my lap. She was heavy and solid. She smelled like vanilla and rain. Her hands went under my shirt, her cold fingers pressing against my ribs, grounding me. I laid her back on the duvet. The floor was hard beneath us, but neither of us cared. I ran my hands down her sides, feeling the curve of her waist, the familiar shape of my best friend becoming something else entirely. She wrapped her legs around me. It felt frantic, like we were trying to erase 20 years of distance in 20 minutes. We didn't go to the bedroom. We stayed on the floor, surrounded by empty boxes. It was messy. It was clumsy. It was real. The morning was bad. The sun hit us at 7 a.m. No curtains. I woke up with a headache. Maya was asleep on my chest. Her mascara was smudged. She stirred. She opened her eyes. She looked at me. She didn't smile. She scrambled backward, pulling the duvet up to her chin. She looked terrified. "Oh, God," she whispered. "Yeah," I said. "Okay." "We can't," she said. She grabbed her jeans. "Mark, we can't do this. We're friends." "It doesn't have to ruin anything," I said, but I knew she was right. She got dressed in 30 seconds. She didn't look at me. She put her boots on without tying them. "I'm going to go," she said. "Let's just reset." "Sure," I said. "Reset." She left. The door clicked shut. We pretended for 6 weeks. We hung out. We played video games. We sat on opposite ends of the couch. Then she stopped answering texts. It was a Friday night. My front door opened. I hadn't locked it. Maya walked in. She looked terrible. Her skin was gray. Her eyes were red-rimmed. She was wearing a trench coat over her pajamas. She walked straight to the coffee table and dropped something on it. It clattered onto the table. It was a plastic stick. I looked at it. I looked at her. She was standing there, shaking, hands in her pockets. I ruined it, she whispered. I ruined my life. I ruined your life. I picked up the stick. 2 pink lines. I didn't panic. I just felt heavy. The world stopped spinning. I looked at Maya. She looked like she was waiting for me to yell. I stood up. Okay, I said. It's not okay, she yelled. I'm 24. I make minimum wage. You're a junior analyst. We live in boxes. She started pacing. Her dark hair was falling out of her bun. My parents are going to kill me, she said, breathing fast. Everyone is going to say, I told you so. We're the cautionary tale. I walked over to her. I put my hands on her shoulders. She froze. She was trembling. Maya, I said. Breathe. I can't breathe. She gasped. I'm pregnant. I know, I said. I'm here. You don't have to be, she said, looking at the floor. Shut up, I said. I lifted her chin, so she had to look at me. Her dark eyes were full of tears. I'm not going anywhere, I said. Whatever you decide. If you want to keep it, we keep it. If you don't, I drive you to the clinic. But I am with you. This isn't just you. It's us. She stared at me. She searched my face. You're an idiot, she sniffled. I know, I said. She collapsed against me. I wrapped my arms around her. We stood in the middle of my living room for 20 minutes, holding on to each other while the plastic stick sat on the table. We went to the clinic on Monday morning. I took a sick day. Maya called out of her shift. The waiting room was quiet. Fluorescent lights. Old magazines. We sat in plastic chairs, not touching. Maya was bouncing her leg. They called her name. I stood up. She looked at me, surprised. You're coming? She asked. Yeah, I said. Obviously. The exam room was cold. Maya sat on the paper-covered table. She looked small. The doctor was efficient. She asked questions. Maya answered them in a monosyllabic whisper. Then came the ultrasound. The gel was cold. Maya flinched when the wand touched her stomach. I stood next to her, holding her hand. Her grip was tight, painful. The screen was gray static. Then movement. There, the doctor said. She pointed. It looked like a grain of rice. It looked like nothing. Then the sound filled the room. A fast, rhythmic swooshing sound. Maya stopped breathing. She stared at the screen. Her mouth opened slightly. That's the heartbeat, the doctor said. Strong. Maya squeezed my hand. She looked at me. Her eyes were wide, dark, and terrified. But the grayness was gone from her face. It wasn't a hypothetical problem anymore. It was a heartbeat. It's real, she whispered. Yeah, I said, staring at the screen. It's real. We walked out to the car in silence. We sat there for a long time. I can't do this alone, she said, staring at the dashboard. You aren't, I said. We figured out. Step 1. What's step 1? We tell the parents. She groaned and put her head on the dashboard. Can we just drive to Mexico instead? Gas is too expensive, I said. She laughed. It was a weak sound, but it was there. We told her parents on a Sunday. We told my parents an hour later. Nobody yelled. Nobody threw us out. Instead, we got silence. We sat in her parents' living room. Her dad stared at the coffee table. Her mom cried into a tissue. We expected more from you, Maya, her dad said. He didn't look at her. We thought you were focused on your degree. I know, Maya said. She looked small. I'm sorry. Sorry doesn't pay for diapers, her mom said. My parents were worse. My mom ate tea. She set the cup down with a heavy sigh. Mark, she said, you just started your career. Why didn't you think? We're handling it, I said. How? My dad asked. You live in a shoebox. Maya makes minimum wage. Do you have a plan? They weren't wrong. They were right, and they were disappointed. We left. We sat in my car in the driveway. Maya was crying silent tears. I can't stay there, she said. I can't live in that house with them looking at me like I'm a tragedy. Then don't, I said. Move in with me. Your apartment is tiny. We'll fit, I said. She nodded. Okay. Maya moved in. She brought 4 boxes. Within a week, my apartment wasn't mine anymore. It was 600 square feet. 1 bedroom, 1 bathroom. In the second trimester, She got obsessive. She needed to control the space, because she couldn't control her body. I came home from work to find the living room rearranged. The TV was on the opposite wall. My gray curtains were in the trash. Bright yellow curtains hung in their place. The gray was depressing, she said. She was standing on the coffee table, hammering a nail into the wall. Maya, get down, I said. You have no balance. I'm fine, she said. Hand me that picture. She filled the apartment. Rugs, plants, a lamp that looked like a cloud. She shoved my dresser into the closet to make room for a crib in the bedroom. We went to IKEA. It was crowded. Maya was waddling slightly, feet swollen. We bought the stroller. We ate ramen for a week to pay for it. We fought about money. But we also found a rhythm. One night, about 4 months into living together, it changed. We were in bed. It was late. The apartment was dark, lit only by the street lamp outside the window. We were tired. I had worked a double shift on freelance data entry. She had been on her feet all day. We were lying facing each other. The bed was small, so we had to tangle our legs together. I reached out and brushed a strand of hair off her forehead. Her skin was warm. She opened her eyes. They were dark and sleepy. Are you okay? I asked. My back hurts, she whispered, and I'm worried about the car insurance payment. We'll make it, I said. I moved my hand down to her waist, resting it on the curve of her hip. She shifted closer, pressing her forehead against my chin. Mark, she said into the dark. Yeah, I like living here, she said. I hate being broke. I hate that I'm huge. But I like living with you. I like waking up and you're there. My heart did a slow, heavy thud. I like it too, I said. I pulled her closer. I kissed the top of her head. Can I tell you something? I asked. Yeah, even if there was no baby, I said, my voice low. Even if the stick was negative, I think I still would have wanted this. I think I would have wanted you here. She pulled back slightly so she could look at me. Her eyes searched mine in the shadows. Really? She asked. Really, I said. I hated coming home to an empty apartment. Now it feels right, even when you're yelling at me about milk. She laughed. It was a soft sound. She reached up and touched my face. Her thumb traced my cheekbone. I was so scared, she admitted. I thought we were just doing this out of obligation. Duty. Is that what it feels like? I asked. Duty? No, she said. She moved her hand to the back of my neck, pulling me down. It feels like we were supposed to be here anyway. We just took a shortcut. She kissed me. It wasn't like the first night. It wasn't frantic. It was slow. It was deliberate. I kissed her back, taking my time. My hand moved from her hip to the small of her back, pulling her flush against me. The baby was between us, a solid presence, but in that moment, it was just us. I love you, I whispered against her lips. She stopped. She took a breath. I love you too, she said. I think I always did. We didn't sleep for a while. We lay there in the dark, in the tiny apartment with the yellow curtains, holding on to each other. It wasn't just survival anymore. It was a choice. The tone of the apartment shifted after that night. The tension broke. We were still broke, still tired, still scared, but we were a unit. As her belly grew, Sunday mornings became our thing. I would wake up early and make coffee. Maya would sleep in until 10 a.m. When she woke up, she'd waddle into the kitchen wearing my t-shirt and her underwear. Her belly was prominent now, a perfect curve. She'd wrap her arms around me from behind while I stood at the stove making eggs. She'd rest her cheek against my back. Smells good, she'd mumble. I'd turn around in the circle of her arms. I'd kiss her nose. How did you sleep? Like a rotisserie chicken, she'd say, turning every 20 minutes. She'd sit on the counter while we ate. I'd stand between her legs, my hands on her thighs. We wouldn't talk about the bills or the parents. We'd just eat eggs and look at each other. It was quiet. It was domestic. It was bliss. She was still studying. One night, she fell asleep on the living room floor, surrounded by flashcards. I picked her up. She was heavy, dead weight. I carried her to bed. I took off her socks. I rubbed her feet with the lotion she kept on the nightstand. Her ankles were swollen, the skin tight. She groaned in her sleep. It's okay, I whispered. I got you. I crawled into bed next to her. I spooned her from behind. My arm went over her side, my hand resting on her stomach. The baby kicked against my hand. Hard. Maya stirred. He's awake, she murmured. He's strong, I said. She covered my hand with hers. He likes you. He doesn't know me. He knows you, she said. He knows your voice. You talk to him when you think I'm asleep. I blushed in the dark. I'm just telling him to calm down. You're telling him about the Knicks, she said, smiling. I kissed her shoulder. Go to sleep. Love you, she whispered. Love you too. We slept like that, tangled together. 3 of us in a bed meant for 2. Month 9. It was a Tuesday. We were assembling the baby's dresser. Cheap particle board. No instructions. The apartment was a disaster. Laundry on the chair. Dishes in the sink. Maya sat on the floor, surrounded by screws. Her t-shirt was tight across her belly. She was sweating. I was sweating. This screw doesn't fit, she said. She threw the screwdriver. Nothing fits. This apartment doesn't fit. We don't fit. She leaned her head back against the wall. She closed her eyes. Dark circles. I picked up the screwdriver. It fits, I said. We just have to force it. I sat down next to her. I handed her water. Hey, I said. She opened her eyes. They were wet. I'm scared, Mark, she whispered. What if we suck at this? We might, I said, but we'll suck at it together. She looked at me. She smiled. It was genuine. You're a good guy, Mark, she said. You're a good mom, I said. She kissed me. It tasted like water. Let's finish the dresser, she said. Yeah, let's finish the dresser. The baby came 2 weeks early. It was chaos. The drive to the hospital at 3 a.m. Maya screaming words I didn't know she knew. Me holding her hand until my fingers went numb. And then a cry. A boy. Leo. Tiny. Red. Angry. They handed him to Maya. She was lying in the bed. Her hair was plastered to her forehead. She was pale, no makeup, exhausted. She looked down at him. She started to cry. Hi, she whispered. Hi, little guy. I stood over them. The door opened. Her parents walked in. My parents walked in. They stopped. The lecture died. The disappointment evaporated. My mom cried. Her dad puffed up his chest. He's beautiful, my mom said. He looks like you, Mark. Her mom said. Maya looked up at me. She smiled. It was a tired, crooked smile. Her eyes crinkled. We weren't kids anymore. We were the adults in the room. I kissed her forehead. We did it. I whispered. Yeah, she said. We did. We went home 3 days later. The apartment was still small. The bank account was still low. But we had the dresser. We had Leo. And we had each other. People said we ruined our lives. We didn't. We just skipped the easy part.